games on TV and making sure that we don't have any of the hiccups on just getting the games out to the fan base all over the country. And yeah, the Big 12 will be different, but we're going to.
That's Graham Rossini earlier today, or literally minutes ago, here on Rocket Minutes with Jimmy B. You'll be able to hear that up on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. We have it up. It'll be there as well as at Rocket Minutes on Twitter. So sports bar gossip quickly as we went along with Graham. We will talk some NFL football here in a few minutes. But Coca-Cola, who's a big sponsor there at Arizona State,
yes.
Has been the clear leader in the market share for decades, right? They've been number one.
Yep.
And who's been number two?
Pepsi.
Clearly. Well, Pepsi is no longer number two.
I'm a pepper, you're a pepper. Wouldn't you like to be a pepper too?
Dr. Pepper, has swooped in. They have taken the number two soft drink. Two reasons: steady decline of Pepsi over the last 20 years and the increased popularity of Dr. Pepper. I love Diet Dr. Pepper. Absolutely love it. And thanks to TikTok and Gen Z, and that's when it all took place, because back in 2004, Dr. Pepper was tied with Sprite. And, Sprite went through their big change.
Yes.
What's it called now?
Well, Starry. Oh, yeah, that's it.
It wasn't Sprite. It was Sierra Mist.
Oh, Sierra Mist.
But there's still Sprite, right?
Yeah, there is Sprite still.
And then there's
7-Up, yeah. 7-Up, Starry, Sprite. But Dr. Pepper moving up.
This probably won't surprise anyone, but all the generations, boomers, are the most riled up about tipping. Everybody's heard about the gripes. They're being shamed into tipping more. We feel like you have to tip for everything, Rob.
Sure,
It's always tipping. But the boomers still tip better than the cheap younger generation.
Damn straight. I agree with that.
There's a couple of surveys on tipping by bankrate.com. 59% of Americans say they have a negative view on tipping, and 35% of Americans believe tipping culture has gotten out of control. I think it has. I think if you do a takeout order, you go inside to get it.
Yeah.
It's ready for you in a bag. Sure. And you put your card in, and it's on the credit card, or it's on your little tablet that you have to tip.
Yes. I still tip on takeouts.
I do too, but But they haven't really done anything for you.
Well, they put it in the bag.
You used to tip on the service.
Well, I think
the service of sitting down.
Correct.
So you're going to tip 20% when you're sitting down.
Well, you may tip.
Are you going to tip 20% on a takeout order?
Probably not. I think I tip 10% when I walk in and get it. I do 20. Now, if I'm sitting down,
but I'll tell you, Minucci, you're not the norm, because you tip more than most people. For a guy that I know, I used to call alligator arms. You do tip more than most. But it's just like I feel obligated. Like today, I went for a place. And I'm like, can I get a Diet Coke or whatever it was? And they rang it up, and there was a thing on there, 10% or 15%, 18% or 20%. You feel obligated to tip on a soda that she's just opening up the refrigerator,
right? Putting
your hand in it, and literally going. It's a transaction that takes literally 11 seconds.
That's why I don't.
And I got to tip $1 on that on a $2.50. Freaking drink.
I don't look at it. If I'm doing just the drink or something like that, I just put my card in. I don't even look at it. I just put the card in.
Howard Balzer is going to join us next football right here at Twin Peaks, Deer Valley. It's Rocket Minutes with Jimmy B right here on Fox Sports 910.
Clear. What's trending on Fox Sports 910 Phoenix?
Backs puts Lake Ciccone on the bump for tonight's 4-game series opener with the Padres. The club claimed journeyman pitcher Thiago Vieira off waivers from the Orioles. He also spent time with the Brewers earlier this season. Fox Sports 910 is your home for every minute of action in the Stanley Cup Final. Game 1 set for Saturday between Edmonton and Florida. The college football bowl schedule was announced today. In addition to the Fiesta Bowl in Glendale, there's the Guaranteed Rate Bowl in Phoenix and the Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl in Tucson. The Cardinals held their last of the voluntary offseason practices today. Mandatory minicamp starts on Tuesday. I'm Frank Garrity on Fox Sports 910, available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
This is the Parker & Sons Weather Center. For all your AC, plumbing, and electric needs, call Parker.
Tonight, look for those overnight lows right around 83 degrees with partly cloudy skies. And then for your Friday, another hot day with temperatures right around 112 degrees. Keep in mind, we're still under that excessive heat warning until Friday night at 8 p.m. For the Fox 10 Weather Experts, I'm Ty Brennan.
This report is sponsored by Bank of America. Bank of America has powerful digital solutions for local and global businesses, so you can make every move matter. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. Bank of America N.A. Copyright 2024.
Investing in a high-quality misting system from Fogco will be the coolest decision you ever make for your home patio, pool area, or commercial property. Fogco, the Valley's original manufacturer of high-pressure fog systems, is one of the pioneers in the misting industry for over 35 years. Let Fogco transform your outdoor living and entertainment areas into a cool and soothing tropical showcase. If you're looking for quality, reliability, and value, get a free quote at fogco.com. That's FOGCO.com.
Life's a sprint. Need G2G protein bars. Grab and go fuel for the office, links, and daily grind. Score an 8-pack at Costco or explore flavors at G2GBar.com. Quick, delicious, power-packed G2G protein bars. Setting your pace.
An all-in-one wireless copier and printer or IT help for your business? Call Document Solutions of the Valley, the official copier and IT solutions company for Rock and Manuch with Jimmy B. Document Solutions is leading the Valley in business solutions for copier and IT service. They'll support your business no matter how big or small. Take advantage of either buying, leasing, or renting many makes and models of copiers. For a free quote, call 623-252-8282. Document Solutions of the Valley. Our service can't be copied.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, it's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Hey sports fans, celebrate every big game with El Bandito Yankee, an ultra-premium tequila made from 100% Blue Weber agave in the highlands of Jalisco. Their certified additive-free Blanco and Reposado feature a unique oxygenation process for a rich smoothness without that tequila burn. That's why they've won platinum and gold medals and are now listed as one of the world's top tequilas by Rolling Stone. Head over to your local store, favorite bar, or restaurant and enjoy. Go to elbanditoyankee.com and break out the Bandito with the official tequila of game day.
Hello, Phoenix. We have some exciting news. Local high school sports has a new home right here on Fox Sports 910 AM. The Coach B and Eternal radio show can now be heard right here on Fox Sports 910 every Sunday morning at 6:30 a.m. Don't miss it.
A small commitment at least one day a week helps reduce ground level ozone pollution and helps us all breathe easier. Ride public transportation. Carpool. Commit to one day and help keep ozone away. Visit maricopa.gov/AQ to learn how you can help.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. We believe that every sport should be epic. Every basket, every game, every point, every play. From the moments that are legendary to the ones that fly under the radar. Whether it's a three-pointer at the buzzer to tie the game or a player goes 2 for 2 at the foul line. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. 21. We must be physically located in Arizona. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342.
Check out what DraftKings has to offer this season with Code SPORTS, because life's more fun when you're in on the action. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Age and eligibility restrictions apply. Void where prohibited. See DraftKings.com for details.
It's Thursday, and the guys are live at Twin Peaks Deer Valley, located in the Deer Valley Town Center.
I mean, I kind of compare it to when I won the Heisman, but not, your life. I'm saying how I feel, not necessarily just, it's college, obviously, but why? I just feel good. Yeah.
Kyler Murray was asked about his overall situation, set up for a successful year. That's courtesy of the Cardinals. Howard Balzer joins us now here on the Right Twitter guest line. Howard, do you think Kyler has it figured out now going into his 6th season in the NFL? Think he's got it figured out?
I think he's on the way to totally figuring it out. I don't know if anybody ever always, at whatever point has it all figured out. But I do think that through this maturation process that he's gone through, and of course obviously the last year and the difficulty of rehab and all that, new system and new coaching staff, I think he was humbled last year, and I think he's learned what it really takes to try and succeed at a high level at this league. So I think he's certainly on his way. I think he likes what this organization has done in the last year plus. And he truly, I think, feels deep down that they're on the right path to being pretty darn good. It doesn't mean it's going to happen this year, but I think he feels that, they're on their way. So I think he's getting it figured out more and more. And like I said, I think the biggest thing is understanding what it takes to be consistently successful as a quarterback in the NFL.
It seems as though the teammates are seeing that as well, too, which I think is a huge part in that locker room, how that seems to be the buy-in that guys are seeing what you're just talking about, that he's, I don't know whether it was the injury or coming to meeting Jesus or whatever it was, that he's like, oh, man, this could end tomorrow. I could get traded. Are they seeing that in that locker room?
Yeah, no, they definitely are. They definitely are. And I think it's a combination of factors that's led to this point, but you hear a lot of guys talking about it when they don't really have to. I mean, we heard a couple guys talk about how, hey, whenever I get to the facility early in the morning, whatever time it is early in the morning, and he's there. And you always like to hear that, especially about the quarterback, that he's one of the first to arrive and one of the last to leave. We heard Michael Carter say that. We heard Darius Robinson, the rookie defensive lineman, talk about just even having a conversation with Kyler. And he says, man, that was unbelievable. He just came to me and just, started giving me some advice. And so, just general stuff about being a rookie. And so he said that was really cool. So yeah, you do have Will Hernandez is talking about it. So, you do hear a lot of guys, talking about that and seeing what, how seriously he's taking this. And because I think the one thing he said yesterday, right at the top, he said, what's your goal for this year? And he said Super Bowl. Now, granted, that's a long shot, obviously. But when someone asked about that, he said, hey, that's the goal every year. Mm-hmm. That's the goal every year. And the one thing no one can ever say about him, and Jonathan Gannon has talked about it, is this guy's a competitor. And whatever he does, he wants to win and be his best. Whether it's football, whether it's, whatever it might be, chess that he plays pretty well. He just wants to win. And I think that's certainly what you have to have from your quarterback.
Howard, everybody, I think, on this planet knew that the Cardinals were going to select wide receiver Marvin Harrison Jr. What do you make of Coach Jonathan Gannon's comments following the OTAs that he had to go talk to Harrison and say, hey, dude, slow down a little bit?
Yeah.
I'm just curious what that's like.
Yeah, no, that's pretty interesting, because I think all coaches, as much as they want their guys to work and work hard and have that relentless work ethic, you also don't want to see them wearing themselves out, especially when it's May or June and you've got a long season ahead of you. But I think also, though, that, Harrison kind of has a plan, and it was evident throughout the offseason when he didn't take part in the combine and he didn't do a pro day and he didn't do all those things. And it wasn't as much not participating in the combine. It was not doing all that stuff that all these, rookies do in working out and, doing drills and all that and wearing themselves out, preparing for the combine, which a lot of things don't have much to do with football. I think he got some of that advice from his father, obviously, the Hall of Famer Marvin Harrison Sr. And what he said when people talk to him, he says, hey, I'm preparing myself for the long haul. I mean, I won't know what it's really like to play 17 games until I do it, but I want to be, as in good shape as possible at the end of the season as I am in the beginning. And so I think that was Gannon just pretty much saying, hey, don't wear yourself out. But, I think, Harrison knows what he's doing. He obviously does things in concert with the strength and conditioning people and that staff that they have. And so, but it was interesting to hear Gannon, say that and say, hey, just be mindful of it all because you want to be there for the long haul.
How it's interesting because when Murray talks about Harrison and Michael Wilson and Greg Dortch, I think he touched base with just about every receiver. Trey McBride, on his comments about each individual receiver, like the offense itself, was pretty interesting how he had pretty much in his mind how those guys were going to help him out specifically, and then talking about Marvin Harrison Jr.
No doubt. I wrote about that. It's on Cards Wire right now. And, the three guys he talked about, not extensively, but had some really strong things to say were about Harrison and Dortch and Wilson, like you said. And those are the guys he specifically was asked about. And so people shouldn't say, well, you didn't say anything about Trey McBride or you didn't say anything about this guy or that guy. But those are the three guys he was specifically asked about. And the one thing that he said that really jumped out is when someone asked him, about Harrison and whether he can, will he, do you believe he will, be able to play at that level in this rookie year, and what will that mean for the team? And he said, yeah, he will be. And then he said, I expect to be a top offense in the NFL. And that includes the running game with James Conner, obviously, and, and everything around him. So he's genuinely excited about this team. He used the word excited numerous times in his 21 plus minutes that he talked to the media yesterday. And so he genuinely has a lot of those positive, vibes. Now it's only June, and, it's still a ways away from playing that first game in September. But, we saw what this team did at the end of last season when he was out there, and that it was just a different feel. And he believes that that's going to carry over.
And now what about the mini camps next week? They had the OTAs. What's the next step for the mini camps? Is it 3 days next week, Tuesday through Thursday? What needs to be accomplished, or what does Jonathan Gannon want to accomplish? Because these guys will be gone for 6 weeks, 40 days or something like that before he sees them again?
Yeah, something like that. It'll be, right around the end of July when training camp begins. And so, today was the last OTA. They're scheduled for three mini camp practices next week. I heard some chatter. We haven't found out the schedule yet, but I've heard some scuttlebutt that there might only be 1 day of actual practice, and that there'll be a day of meetings, and that they might even end it a day short. I don't know that for sure, but that's what I hear might be the case next week. But if that is done, obviously it's Jonathan Gannon making the decision, because he thinks they've accomplished, what they set out to do in these OTAs and pre-OTAs also, and then, leading into, what it'll be next week. So, but the message that all the coaches give those guys when they depart in mid-June. And some of the rookies will stay around a little bit longer, not that much, but they'll be staying around a little bit. But it's obviously, hey, it's a nice break, but when you come back, be ready to go full bore. You still got to work out. You still got to stay in shape. You still got to stay in the playbook, and you don't want to be having to, catch up and, oh gosh, I forgot that, or I forgot that. You still got to do all those things in prep for the start of training camp at the end of July.
He's Howard Balzer here on Rock Minuch with Jimmy B. What else are you working on as the OTAs are finishing up and the mini camps are just around the corner?
Yeah, just, there'll be a lot of stories following up. I still have a few more things to do on some of the things Kyler said, and Evan Brown talked to the media. It looks like it's way early, but he might end up being the guy that's a starter at left guard. Obviously, still a lot of time between now and September, but there's some interesting backstories. I think one quick one that I'll be working on is two guys who are key to this year. Everyone always says the second year for draft picks and rookies, the second season is important, and two guys on defense, B.J. Ojolari and Garrett Williams, who are healthy this offseason program. They weren't as rookies last year, and so it kind of stunted their progress a little bit. But both those guys are are healthy now and should be big parts of that defense. So we'll be touching on a lot of those things as we get ready for training camp in this next month and a half or so.
Howard Balzer, check him out. Cards Wire at USA Today. Also on Twitter, X, HBalzer721. Howard, as always, thank you, man. Have a great weekend.
Same to you guys. Take care.
Howard Balzer joining us. Also, you can catch him on the mornings, too, with Jody Ehlers. He's on there. He's usually on Tuesday, Wednesdays with Jody. So get a little Howard Balzer here on Rock Minuch with Jimmy B on Fox Sports 910. Coming up, we will get you caught up on what's going on tonight as it's game one of the NBA Finals. We're watching Sportsnet Live here on Spectrum, all right, at the Twin Peaks Deer Valley. And it's the Dodgers and the Pittsburgh Pirates. And it amazes me when you look at this Dodger lineup. Mookie Betts first. Otani third or second.
Yeah.
Second.
Then
Best player in baseball.
Freddie Freeman.
And then Freddie Freeman. It's like, are you kidding me?
On and on and on.
Yep.
It's just a strong lineup.
You guys like manager challenges? A manager challenge. Do you like them?
If it's appropriate, if it fits, if it's going to cost you a game.
It just happened just now.
Oh, it did on that catch in center field?
It wasn't a catch.
Okay.
But because of that, and then, of course, Freeman just goes yard. It's 3-0.
That's
how that lineup is.
Yeah.
I mean, here we are.
I know.
It's unbelievable how good the Dodgers are.
They are.
If they should be a dynasty with this roster.
But the Yankees are the same way. You look at their lineup.
Aaron Judge had a 3-run triple yesterday.
Unbelievable.
Oh, man.
And what Juan Soto's doing as well.
It's, man.
I don't know.
Big markets.
Yep.
Rocca Minuch.